to My String of Pearls episode 16
of a knitting podcast.
Yeah. My name is Miyoka.
And my name is Linda.
And Linda's my mom.
This is my daughter.
Her pumpkin's already falling over. Welcome to anyone who is new, and welcome back to anyone who is returning. How long has it been, Mom?
It's been July. Mm-hmm. We've been missing in action,
mm-hmm. But on the podcast world, not in general. We've been busy.
Mm-hmm.
We've been very busy. Yeah,
and we should just take care of these pumpkin things because they're falling all over.
Mom wanted to put it on her shoulder and I put mine on my belly.
Oh yes, and it's the day before Halloween. Halloween's tomorrow, so happy Halloween tomorrow. Halloween. We bought knitted pumpkins.
Mom knit these a couple years ago now. Right?
Last year, I think it was. Yeah,
maybe.
Finally,
mine has been felted a little bit because Kat likes to take it off the table.
And mine just comes out for this time of the year.
Yeah, it's fun. So want to show that.
So they're done.
I'll link the pattern that you used in our show notes.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
So back to our introduction.
Again, welcome back to anyone who is returning. We apologize for the delay, but at the same time, such is life, right? Mm-hmm. As most of you know, that I'm expecting a baby due in about 5 weeks or so.
Yeah, not very long.
Stand up later and show you the belly.
Yeah.
And so life's been crazy. Life's been really busy.
Yes, and with harvesting, gardens, etc., and a little bit of camping, and just in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I have good news.
What's that?
A month ago, I actually retired.
More knitting time, hey?
Well, for all sorts of things. It's kind of hard to focus on one thing when your mind's going in all different directions. But I'm working it out. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. And I think last time I was looking back was July 10th that we were here. So
that's
October
quite time.
30th today.
30th, yeah.
And it was this crazy heat spell, and then we had a really, really gross, smoky summer. Mm-hmm. We are in the Okanagan, for those of you that don't know, and there was some pretty horrendous forest fires.
Mm-hmm. And we were affected by that.
Not directly. We were never evacuated or anything ourselves.
No, with the smoke and the debris that's left over from forest fires or when they're happening.
Yeah. And
the uncertainty of those people who were displaced and had to evacuate, etc. Yeah. Many people opened their hearts and homes and etc. to help them out. And
one of the worst years for forest fires that I have seen personally in my life.
Yes, me too here. Yeah.
And just the smoke for weeks. Mm-hmm. We had just this thick smoke and ash, and I would even just close the curtains. I couldn't go outside too much in it because of being pregnant, and then of course just the air quality. I think the index went to 400 something, the range, and we were in the 500 to 600s for it was just
incredibly
horrible.
Crazy.
So really,
and with that on top of the pandemic, it was pretty rough.
It was hard.
We survived. Yeah. And we have fresh air now. The sun is shining today. It's just a beautiful day.
I've never wished summer away so quickly and for winter, and I can't wait for it to snow. Mm-hmm. Partially because I'm going to have a baby when it's snowing, but just the fresh, cool air. It was quite frosty last night. Mm-hmm. So you might hear the fire crackling in the background. Yeah. So that's where we've been.
Yes. And I want to say hi to Auntie Irene and to Mom and Clem and
so
all
many
our viewers. I'm sorry. I feel like Mr. Dress Up saying, "Who's in the mirror?"
I love it.
For those of you who know Mr. Dress Up.
Should we let everyone know where they can find us?
Oh, yes.
We're on Ravelry.
We're on Ravelry.
So my Ravelry page is My String of Pearls. And then we just have a Ravelry group that you're going to be able to find show notes, have any kind of conversation with us, reach out for questions if you don't want to do it in the comments below. And that as well is My String of Pearls.
Yes. And on Instagram you are?
Instagram, let's keep it simple, my.string of pearls.
And I on Ravelry are L Pearl.
Yeah.
And on Instagram is what am I?
Linda Pearl.
That's me. The Pearls. Miyoko put it all down here, so
for sure. Yeah.
we can keep that on track. So
And I have to give you a huge pat on the back because before we started filming, she's editing her projects and making sure there's photos and really updating her Ravelry because I know that several of our viewers go there. Yeah.
And I'm not always so good at keeping everything up to date, but I'm working on it.
Because you are very, I'm going to show you.
Tactile.
Yeah, I wouldn't say old school, but you are very set in your ways of liking to write things down.
Yeah, that's me.
And you know what? You could probably just take a picture of your notes and put that up there in a photo too sometimes if you wanted to. Whereas my view of like pattern reading and making and stuff has always been on a phone, on Ravelry. And so when I make a note, I just immediately go to my Ravelry page and the project and I'll go through there.
Do it there, yeah. That's not me. I need paper.
Yeah.
And even my patterns are all folded up in my project bag. So whatever works for you, just do it.
Exactly. So that's where you can find us. And of course, any comments below, I think I've been pretty bad at answering a lot of people, but lots of direct messages on Instagram and different things like that. So how are you guys? Are you okay? We miss you. And we missed you too. We've been trying to get here, but... Life.
Yeah, that's as we said last time. Life. Yes, you all know life.
One unfortunate thing with being pregnant is, well, not unfortunate, but your blood volume increases double or more. And I'm a massage therapist, and my hands actually got a bit numb, quite a bit numb. So it was okay while I was working, but knitting was just like I couldn't feel my fingers. So
you just have to avoid that. For a time.
So I switched to crochet for a little bit. You're going to see some of that. And just recently, now that I'm actually officially done work, I've been able to pick up knitting a bit more and not feel so numb.
But this is going to go away after baby's born.
This is just like pregnant.
Temporary.
It's very temporary, very common. People that use their forearms a lot for a job or whatnot. It just was slowed down my knitting progress, which is fine. Yeah. What else have we got?
I think we should go on to finished objects.
Sure.
Okay.
You got a couple things?
I do. Well, first of all, I've been knitting. Yoke hasn't been able to do too much. So I did make a pair of socks for my mom. A second pair because the first ones were so comfy and warm for her feet in the wintertime. And here's a picture we'll show here. And she got them end of summer. And it's so funny because... she told me, well, her husband, Clem, took them over for putting them on at nighttime when he's sleeping. So I think I might have to make another pair.
Well, you showed the yarn,
yes,
I think, for Grandma's socks
in
a couple of episodes before. And I don't think I think last episode you'd knit them and then gifted them already, or maybe...
No, I just had them, they were just in the balls. And now they're done and in use. So that's really good to see that.
Yeah.
So... they were a good, easy knit. It was just my simple socks, vanilla socks that I patterned that I've got and revised over the years.
They have the same size feet that you could take them?
They're a little bit big.
Oh.
Grandma's
got bigger feet.
They both have a similar size, don't you guys? So I'm happy that they're in use. So that's great. So moving on, what other finished object? Oh, I have, because we have a baby and coming, and Miyoka has lots of hand-me-downs from family members of baby things, and she has lots of pink things. So we don't know the sex of this baby yet. We don't know
who's coming out.
No.
Yeah.
So I decided to make a couple pair of these receiving blankets that are 2 layers, and they are so cozy and warm. It's all made out of flannel, so we've got little baby and teddy bears and stuff on there. So there's that one.
You think it's a boy?
I don't know if it's a boy. It's just sort of going in that direction, but we'll see. It's not too late to make pink things.
No, it's not.
And then this one. This is so cute with these little clothing on them. And then beyond that, I have this other... Miyoka, turn away because you can't see.
I don't want to see because everything I know is I already know all about it.
This cute little hat.
But you know, I'm going to see it when I edit.
So just keep them closed for now. So this cute little bonnet, and it's got a little bit of a cable on it, is the softest yarn. And if this little one is a little girl, then we'll just put little pinky somethings on there, or coral or something girlish. And then these little ones, these cute little booty socks also go with it. So that's we'll put the details down in the bottom so you can go and find the patterns if you wish. Okay, you can look again.
But I'm going to see it when I edit. Like, it's going to be...
Don't tell me, okay?
That's too funny. I just realized that, I'm
I know
totally going to ruin the
but
surprise when I edit
doing
it.
This way anyways.
I don't think... Yeah, I had started the...
Oh, we've seen that before without the buttons.
So this is the Ellen's Coming Home outfit. Just the cardigan, and I did the bonnet as well. I didn't want to do the pants. I feel like knit baby pants just slide off babies. They're so scrunched up. But last time I showed it, I don't believe I'd had the buttons on it yet.
Those buttons are so cute.
So I did the buttons. I haven't... soaked and blocked it, which I don't think I'm going to really. I know it's a bit small, but it's quite stretchy. It's just the cutest little thing. So this is going to be, baby's going to have a little sleeper onesie underneath it. Maybe bonnet. The bonnet, even if the bonnet gets used for a couple photos or something like that. Our friend's going to do some newborn photos for us. So
well, we don't know the size of the baby either, so this is pretty little.
Yeah,
and this is stretchy. So
this is the Ellen's Coming Home outfit by Petite Knit. And it just was one of the first things I cast on when we found out we were expecting. I was
so special.
So
that's
sweet and
just
special.
So nice to have something that you made for your little one. It's just I don't know how to explain it. It's very, very, very special.
So I did that, and then just this week, Tuesday I cast it on and
kept her going.
Thursday afternoon I finished it.
Yeah.
This is the let me find the right. Traveling Cable Hat by Pearl Soho, and I knit this in the Brooklyn Tweed Loft Snowbound. I just held it double, so I actually had loft left over. I have a sweater's quantity, but in my we didn't do what we're wearing. We'll go back.
We will. We'll save that to the end of our finished objects section.
I had loft in my City Limit sweater. This is the blue, and then I held it double with the I think this is flannel and then snowbound. So anyway, I just wanted something that was, I found a lot of the baby hats we've been gifted already are very small, like newborn size, and babies just grow so big and you never know how big their head is and whatnot. So I wanted to do a little cable knit, and I think if it's a girl, I'm going to put a pom-pom.
Oh, you can put whatever color, that'll sort of help
just
people
to kind of make it pop. So that was a really fun, quick knit, and I find that cabling was actually a really nice break for my hands.
You did so good on them too. They look so defined.
There's a couple mistakes, but I'll just go fast so you can't see. It's hard when you're reading a pattern and doing other things or watching TV or something. But like I said, I found that the cabling was a nice break for my hands and the numbness, because you kind of stop, change your position, do what you're doing, and go from there. So that was a very fun one, and it comes in adult and baby size, and it's a free pattern. So
that's really nice.
I'm really happy with that one.
And you said you used 2 yarns.
I just used Snowbound, which is a fingering, and I held it double.
Okay, so you
because it called for a worsted, I believe.
Well, that's very smart. Using 2 fingering weight yarns to accomplish that worsted.
Yeah, I was after the gray.
Miss Neutral.
went through my stash, and I was after the grays. So,
okay.
Do you have anything else done?
I have this.
Okay, let's do what we're wearing. Yeah.
Excuse me. This is the Calyx Sweater by Elizabeth Doherty. You saw it in progress last podcast, so I actually did get it finished. It was very interesting how the whole thing went together. It's made with linen quill, and I held it double. So. And I changed the bottom of it, so it's I've got a lateral braid like up here, and then just the regular. Oh, maybe it was a twisted. Whatever was up here, this is down here. But this one, you change the needles smaller to make it the neckline go smaller. This was just one size needle all the way down. And what I like about it, it's got this beautiful eyelet lace detail along the side too, to match the front. And it's not too warm. I was expecting it to be warmer. It's becoming softer as I use it, And I just love it. I love the color. It's called Kiln Red, and it's linen quill by
I feel like
Purls.
it's being washed out a little bit in the shot here, but it's kind of an orangey.
It's not a pumpkin orange. It's more
color.
of a softer fall kind of orange. And it's so comfortable, just really comfortable. And not too see-through here,
no.
so it's perfect.
I feel like we knit that quite quickly.
No, I started it before July, and because it was partly done.
You did show it your last podcast. Yeah, okay.
But the construction is from the bottom up, and then do the shoulders, of course, and then you knit this little bit here, and then you attach it to both sides, the front and the back. Well, the front and the back are all knit together, all in the round. Oh, I'm going to give it all away. Anyways, you pick it up there. It's a paid-for pattern. She does really, really beautiful, beautiful patterns. Mm-hmm. Elizabeth does. Mm-hmm. And so then you go in the round down here. And, the other modification I did is I didn't decrease any of the stitches because I find lots of the patterns that I have made, the sleeves are too tight, so I like a loose sleeve. Mm-hmm. So I'll put that on my Ravelry as well, that modification. Yes.
And I've shown this before. This is not a new one, but I just wanted to wear something knit that was a little bit more fitted to me because, of course, with a belly, you look bigger than you normally are.
Look at this big, beautiful belly.
This is the baby belly,
this
obviously.
Is baby belly.
This is the City Limits by Tannis Fiber Arts.
Yes.
And I finished this early this past year. Yes. I remember just getting it wrapped up around like New Year's and whatnot.
To the side so you can see there's detail on the side.
Oh yeah, so it's hard to see. I'm wearing it right side out right now, but you have the way that you knit it, and I showed this and talked about it lots, but the way that you knit it, you have a detail raglan down here.
I can't resist.
There's the bump.
Sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. The detail, you can wear it reverse, so it's reverse stocking. It has a bit more of a marled look rather than the stripes. And I've had it on a couple times being pregnant. I just find I'm not wearing a lot of my knitwear pregnant because I just don't want it to stretch out too much. I know it bounces back, but
well, I didn't realize that you could change the size of a sweater when I was pregnant many years ago, and I knit one of those buffalo wool sweaters, and I did wear it when I was pregnant, and it had the bump in it, and I thought, oh man, I stretched it out.
And I have worn the what did you knit for me just recently? The rug sweater a bit, but it's nice and wide, but it's actually kind of short on my tummy, so I have to wear something like long. I wear something covered anyway.
But what I was going to say, I could have taken that sweater and soaked it and swatched it, and it would have gone back to the flat shape instead of the baby bump.
I just find it puckers kind of weird. That's the only thing I wish I would have done differently is it's held double and you switch your yarn out, et cetera, et cetera. But this stripe right across the boob is the same yarn held double, and there's no variegation in color to it. It's just very obvious of like.
But I think that. Well, it's more dominant or more noticeable as you're pregnant because your body's shape is different.
Absolutely.
But it gives it more definition of the contrast of the marl and the plain one color. Yeah. I think it looks great.
Thank you. Yeah, yes. It's one thing that I've always wanted to be pregnant at one point in my life and have a belly and just this baby body, and I'm really proud of it. I think it's pretty cool.
You're doing such a good job.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, at this stage, probably get out of the breath a little bit faster. Baby's just getting bigger and it's kind of getting more uncomfortable, but we're 35 weeks now, so
it's getting there.
Getting there, definitely. Might not have another podcast until after baby's here now.
Well, we'll do life first.
We'll do life. Maybe we'll do a finished object for you.
Oh, well, we do have another idea for some podcasts that we might do later. Before baby comes, and we'll just put that on so that you can see that. Anyways, we got plans. So that's your finished object.
No, I've got one more.
You do? Yes.
So like I said, I switched to crochet a little bit. And just little projects. Actually, I don't even have it here to show, but I'm starting another Veggie Charm set
yes.
by Susan B. Anderson, because I've knit several now and I've showed them lots, but our baby doesn't have a set to play with, so I'm doing that. And it was just, that was knit, but it's just a smaller project. I can pick it up, put it down. It's actually quite quick. But one thing I kind of envisioned for baby's room was a handmade mobile. And went back and forth and back and forth. And of course, Pinterest is a fantastic place for ideas. And so I came across one and I just made it my own.
Look at that.
So this is our little rainbow mobile. Everything is on Ravelry. It's all crochet. Yeah. And so I just scrap yarn, honestly, and so I really wanted, instead of like the standard bright primary colors of a rainbow, I want like the jewel tones of them. So thanks to Mom for the yellow, and I think the orange, and then the yellow
little
the
clouds. They're just so cute because they are
face, little embroidered face on there. And then the clouds, Mom had this fantastic yarn that kind of was
thick and thin
and bulky and wonky. And then
perfect for clouds.
Over here is my cloud prototype that was too small, and I have another one I want to hang on there as well. So yeah, that's baby's mobile, and I'll put a video up that I have it above the crib, and it's really fun. I love it. Aww. I love it so much. And I said to Matt, like, what is it? What does it look like underneath, right? Because that's what baby's going to see. So like I said, everything's in Ravelry. There's a schmozzle. Is that a word?
It is a word.
A schmozzle of patterns that I've put together. Most are just linked from Pinterest or a couple of ones on Ravelry. It was all free and just really special.
It's very special.
I was just pounding out raindrops
like that
for a
nesting
while.
instinct that comes out in mothers.
So
lovely.
I can't wait for baby to see that. We actually had a friend over with their little girl. She's 6 months old, and I turned it on, and she was there, and her little hand was just going around and around because it was spinning, and it was
so
pretty cute.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was pretty cute.
Yeah,
so.
Nice. So I think that's all we have for finished objects.
Sort of, yeah. I'll work into like the whips with the other one there.
So we have works in progress next. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll start.
Yeah.
Some of you know about Advent socks. My lovely daughter Miyoka gifted me some yarn from...
It was the Cozy Knitters Advent stripe yarn. She does it every year, and you could probably run out and get it now.
Yes. Ooh, I don't know.
I want to say maybe not, actually. But the Cozy Knitter is what we got last year.
And this is in my lovely bag. And this is left over. We did some last year. Actually, we had that lovely picture of us with our feet on the floor.
Oh, yeah. The mirrored image. Yeah.
And then these ones I'm knitting that with the leftover yarn. Well, you know how it goes when things get stuck together.
I still have quite a bit left over, too, actually, if you need more.
Oh, I just need a little bit.
Okay. Because I still have...
perfect.
Yeah.
Because this is where I am the last little bit here. So
I feel like I did shorty socks.
Well, I made these shorter.
No, that was Scrumptious Pearl. Sorry, ignore me.
I can't.
Pregnancy.
So I've got 2 of those. They're just about finished. It's just I needed to just knit some socks in between my next project, which, sometimes you got, for me, I have usually 2 projects, sometimes more, but usually 2 projects, one that's a little more complicated and one that's simple. And usually if it's a big project, I knit something in the middle of it. So these are in the middle of it, which is almost finished. So
one thing, I can't remember which podcaster recommended it or talks about it, but she said you should have 3 projects on the go. One that fits in your purse, nice, small, easy, pack wherever you go.
Yes. 2
that is just really easy to do. You don't have to think about it. And 3, something that's a little bit more
challenging.
You gotta read. You gotta
you should brain a little more.
Yeah. And so, I have
usually I have those
several
more difficult project, an easy project, and the next project that I want to do is on the mind. That's plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was your socks.
It is something else. You're hanging down. Sorry, cut my eye.
Another thing that I cast on for baby, and I will probably pick up sooner than later, I'm assuming, was the Anchors cardigan by Petite Knit.
Oh.
What is this yarn even? This was a knit crate yarn.
Oh yes, that's the stuff that you talked about last time.
Yeah, it's Bloom by the Audine Wools, and it's called Color Philodendron, and it's kind of that chainette style. Mm-hmm. This is a little bit on hold. Whenever I put stuff on hold, I just put like US. What is this? 6 needles. And this is not US 6 needles because they're on something else. But I got.
That sounds complicated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I got just like past that little bit of a yoke.
Mm-hmm. And what was the name of it?
This is the Anchors cardigan by Petite Knit. I feel like this is a Petite Knit podcast today.
Maybe.
Got a few things going on. But I'm doing the 6 to 12 months.
Good
because we have lots of newborn stuff and don't plan on going too far. So
good.
Working on that one.
Nice. Okay. Should I go next?
Yeah.
Okay, this is my next big project, and I have almost got it finished.
Oh, yeah.
And it's in my fun bag. I love this bag so much. Anyways, you saw it last. And it took me a second to get it out, and it's linen.
Yarn.
And it's, got little bits. Everything's hanging off of everything, but I know what's happening, so I'm good. I do know what's happening. So this is called Cedar Pullover, and it's by Joji Locatelli. Mm-hmm. And it's got I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little ridge of a design every few rows. There. And this yarn is Euroflax yarn. It's a linen by Bluette. And I'm in the pattern, it does a lace on the bottom. Lace on the bottom. And I've decided just to do a twisted rib on the bottom. And I am knitting till I don't have any more yarn on the sleeves. So that's why they're both on needles, kind of crazy like. So I'm getting closer to finishing. So only got a little bit left. So yay, you'll be seeing me possibly wearing that. I want to wear it over probably in the summer, but I've got a really nice couple of it's down there. A couple of really nice colored long sleeve tops that would go nice with this too. So but I'm really getting close. I have a swatch that I'm going to take apart and this little bit. So getting close. So yay!
That's awesome. And it's just the sleeves that you have?
It's just the sleeves, yeah.
Yeah. And you did your way out.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. If you don't already have a kitchen scale in grams and even fractions of a gram sometimes is helpful. You should get one because it's fantastic for sleeves, socks, even just my next project that I'm working on, and knowing that I can get another something out of the amount like you weigh. So for example,
for even talk about sleeves.
Sleeves. So for example, I'm knitting, I'll talk about these in a second, but these cabled ear warmers. So I knit one and I weighed it and it was 37 grams.
And you knew what the total was to start with?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
And then I still had a bunch of yarn left. And so I weighed that and it was just almost 70 grams. And so I'll be pushing it, but I will have enough to do 2 more, essentially. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and another thing, too, is, like, if you're playing yarn chicken.
Yikes, it's not a fun game.
It is not. I did it with
But I play it all the time.
Yeah. And so weigh your yarn that you have left, knit around, weigh your yarn again, subtract that, and you know generally, as long as you're not increasing or decreasing too much, that's how many grams you're going to need for your round. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
And for what I did for my sleeves on the cedar pullover, I had so much yarn left over, so I weighed the whole thing and divided that in half. So I knew how much I would have for each sleeve. So, and sort of have an idea of how long it's going to be, and it'll be just fine.
Yeah.
But something I want to talk to you about linen, or share with you, is linen is a really...
I don't like knitting with linen. I have a shirt that I started.
I'm quite enjoying this. It's different, but I'm enjoying it. The needles are nice, and the linen is going well. But what I want to share with you is that the when linen is really slippery, so it's really hard to join that yarn, and it's to weave it back in, it's really thick. So I did some research, and there is a gal, her name is, well, she has a podcast that's called Mel Makes Stuff, and she has a little tutorial on her channel. It's called 5 Joins for Linen Yarn, and it's very helpful, very helpful. And I wish I would have known that when I started. I would have changed things a little bit different. But there you go, linen yarn. 5 Joins for Linen Yarn by Mel Makes Stuff. Yes. So, do you have anything else?
Oh, yeah. So, what am I working? Well, I still have my half and half triangles wrap that's kind of on hold. I still have the shawl.
What is it?
Yeah, I've shown it before. It's been on hold for a while because I haven't been knitting a ton. So I'm working on, there's a hoop house market coming up close to us in the next little bit. So there's a local flower farmer, and they have their hoop house, which is essentially their greenhouse. Yeah. And they've done it for a few years now. Maybe they didn't do it last year. I think
it's the 3rd year. Oh, they did it last year, but it was very simplistic.
Or not. Yeah. We've attended before, but they have lots of local makers. They have some natural wreaths that they have, some dried eucalyptus, all the kinds of different things. Mm-hmm. And she posted on her Instagram that they have the hoop house, and I just thought, like, I'm off work earlier than I expected. I've got time on my hands. Maybe I can...
Hands. can work.
Yeah, time on my hands, literally. And I've made several of these before, and I just thought they were the perfect gift, and they're fast knit, and it's something that maybe I could sell at the market. And so I messaged her, and she said, yeah, not a problem. Sounds like a great addition to the hoop house. Yeah. And so this is the Emma Cable Knit Ear Warmer by Vanessa Knits. And she was actually, her and I were introduced to each other through FiberShare. And it's just a fantastic pattern. It's super quick. I think there's 10 repeats of the cable.
It's nice and, well, it depends on what yarn you use, but it's nice and soft. It's not too tight.
Yeah, you want to use something bulky and whatnot. So I whipped this one up quick. Like I said, I weighed the yarn. I can get 2 more out of this one. And because I hadn't knit them in a while, 1 year, I think everyone was gifted one for Christmas.
One for Christmas.
And so now I'm actually doing 2 at a time because you can. I can.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
So
look at that.
I've got those 2 going there. And I'm using lots of scrap yarn that we've had stashed away. Mm-hmm. Mom was gifted a bunch of yarn from a lady that is very bulky and chunky. And so I asked her if I could make some cables.
Please, use it. Please.
Yeah. So we're going to have lots in there. And then this is the one that I did for myself, and it's been well loved.
You used it a lot.
I use it
in winter
when I'm walking daily. Long walks in the cold. I'll ship it.
You will be going out again.
Yeah, I will once baby's here. It's just the perfect ear warmer.
For warm weather.
Warm weather, cold weather. Yeah. And yeah, this one was knit at Malabrigo, I believe, Rasta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
most of the ones that I gifted were as well. So yeah, Emma cabled ear warmer. If you're local to us, pop us a note. We'll let you know where the hoop house is. Mm-hmm. And I think the dates are 27th, 28th of November, and the 5th, 6th, or 4th, 5th of December. Did I say that twice? November 27th, 28th, 4th, 5th. Baby
you sound
brain.
Like me.
So I'm planning on having a few of those there. And yeah, it's just a great pattern for gifting, getting rid of.
It's a fast knit too.
It's really easy.
Something quick.
And like I said, cabling just seems to be really nice right now. So.
Mm-hmm. And where we live, winters get cold, and anywhere north of us, winters get cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's what I'm currently just daily working on right now.
Well,
I can get one done in a night. I started those yesterday, and we went to bed early last night because we were really tired.
Mm-hmm.
But I could have gotten 2 done yesterday.
Easily.
So I'll finish that up today.
That's really good to get that fast.
Yeah, I've got until the 26th. So we'll see how many I can get done. Now my hair is all wonky from the
that way.
headband. There we go.
Yes. So
what else do you have?
I talked last time about my marigold yarn, and that I was going to make a beekeeper's cardigan and holding double with
You showed your yarn.
I showed my yarn. So now I have a swatch. So this is the beekeeper's swatch, and the colors here do not do it justice. So
go closer, maybe. We have quite a bit of sunshine coming in.
It's the colors.
It's the color of like the pollen on a bee bum.
Yeah. So beekeepers. Yeah, and then we have been so in tuned with our garden this year. We've competed with the bees to harvest flowers for our dye garden. So we let them go during the day and let the bees all get in there. And then, I was harvesting in the early evening, so that
it started cooling down.
Yeah, so that we didn't interfere with them.
You can truly see the true color of that in our last podcast.
Yeah. So there's the colors.
Yeah.
Joining them. You can't really. It's tricky.
It's just I've
different.
got the curtain or the blinds closed, but
we had outside.
It's a really sunny day.
It is a very sunny day.
Which we're not.
So that's going to be my next big project after my Cedar Pullover is done. So yeah. And next, do you have anything else, or should I just carry on?
Well, we were going to talk about Christmas stuff, or do you want to show your acquisitions first?
Well, there's kind of
show your acquisitions for your other linen quilt that you got.
Okay, so I had to get on the bandwagon with the half and half wraps.
I have to chuckle. I'm sorry.
You're gonna throw me under the bus, aren't you?
We can go back and probably find the timestamp and everything on a previous podcast. But when I said I wanted to do the half and half triangles wrap that everyone was doing, and they actually Rhinebeck, they just did the meetup on the hill, which we knew we weren't going to go to.
Yeah.
Caddy Jackson did it out there, and it was just one of those things that it was like, this feels. I think it was during COVID, and I just needed that like good easy knitting. And
what did I say? What did I say?
Oh, I just don't have time for that. I can't remember what you said, but you were just kind of like, I'm not into that. Just we're closed for 6 skeins of yarn. It's a lot of just blah knitting, like it's back and forth. And so I got into mine. You loved the yarn. I did love the yarn. And so this is when you ordered. I ordered this. You ordered for your half and half. I ordered for this. At the same time? Same time. Okay, so you did that. And then I think if you recall, my half and half triangles wrap was supposed to be kettle black and salt and pepper. I got bored. I wanted to cast on something. And so I cast on the lightweight cardigan by Purls Soho in the salt and pepper, and then needed a different yarn to match my other half of mine. Yes. So then I ordered High Tides, and you ordered I can't more. I think you need more for this, didn't you? No, I was going to, but I had enough. You had enough. Okay. But then you started knitting with this. Yes. And okay, I have to justify myself. Please. No, you're allowed. I'm just, it's hilarious because I said one thing and did another. But you know what? You fall in love with the yarn. And that's exactly what happened. Was as soon as I was knitting the half and half triangles wrap, I fell in love with the yarn, and I thought, I need a sweater in this, and that's why I stole the other 3 skeins from my own stash to start the sweater that's totally on hold. But Mom has hopped on the bandwagon briskly. Well, yes, after, like we said, after you use the yarn, it's so wonderful to knit with. And I didn't realize it at the time when I purchased this fingering weight that they have worsted weight, so I could have just ordered the worsted weight. But this is held double, and it's still lovely. I'm in love. So after watching so many people with their finished projects, their finished objects of the half and half, I thought, I gotta do this. Well, I just gotta do this. The amount of color variation and options, it's just amazing. Yeah. So I did, and this is the colors that I'm choosing, these 2 colors. And one is called Dark Iris, which is the green, I'm a green girl. Are you sure the Dark Iris is green? I thought that was purple. What am I here? No, dark iris is a purple.
Oh, juniper green.
Yeah, okay.
Juniper green and dark iris. And those are my colors. There's sort of, I thought, I could just wrap myself in this as a blanket on the couch when I'm knitting more things. So here I am. I've got the skeins skeined up, balled up. What do you call those things? The balls. I got them in balls anyways. They're not skeins, they're in balls. And I just but I wanted to make sure that the edges are the same, because I know there was talk about doing the sort of an I-cordy edge on one side, but I wanted to make sure it was the I-cord edge to start with.
If you follow the pattern according to how it's written by Purl Soho, you slip each stitch and knit each stitch. I can't remember because I haven't had mine out for a bit. And it makes kind of a little bit of a, not rough edge, but it's not as even and smooth. So then Jackie from Caddy Jack's Knits talks about, she does a little thing on hers, but I really like the one from Leslie Friend from Friend to Knit With. Hi, Leslie. She has a wonderful tutorial on hers. Yes. I think she's knit like 3 of them.
There is so many. People are making more than one and more than 2.
But I really like her little tutorial that she has on YouTube of how to make kind of that I-cord edge each time.
What my starting is, will that edge be on the beginning of it?
So you've cast on.
I have cast on, but I haven't carried on my cast on. So I haven't really, this is as far, where am I here?
Be careful when you pull it out. Because you have to cast in like 200 and something stitches.
Yeah, 210 I think it is. So this is all that I started, and I thought, gee, I should find out a little bit more and make sure that there's some there off. That I get this just right to get that little edge on the beginning, but I haven't got too far on that yet.
We can pull mine out again before
you
leave if you like. We talked about it before.
Yeah. And Miyoka had a really good suggestion. She did every 50 stitches, you put a stitch marker.
10 or 20.
Oh, because I've got every 100. This is to start with, and I'll have to add some more.
Yeah.
So, and this is so cool.
Yeah, because you have 260 stitches.
210, I believe.
260.
260. This little star glows in the dark. I didn't know that until
see, at 4 a.m. knitting. I'll be at 4 a.m. feeding. You'll be 4 a.m.
that's
knitting.
how I got this finished. Getting up early in the morning because
you know how many times I'm up in the night? Well, going to the washroom these days, but just either pregnancy insomnia or whatever. And I'm like, I should text Mom. I bet you she's up knitting. I have other friends in my life that have children, young children, and are breastfeeding and whatnot. And so I've texted a couple of them like, I can't sleep. What are you doing? They're like, what are you doing awake? So I am very happy that you've hopped on the train. One day we will both have them done. It's one of those things I was having just a day. I don't know, pregnancy's hard sometimes. Just having a hormonal day. I just need to sit and do something. And I just sat and I knit because I've changed over to my second color. And I just sat and I knit and just was like.
Well, in my mind, I feel I have this vision of just sitting, watching the snow come down and listening to some like quiet Christmassy music even, or just real quiet music, and just enjoying that. Just like,
So I have that same everything. Snow is falling, Christmas movie is on, fire's crackling, and I have a baby.
Oh, but you won't be knitting and having a baby. I'll hold your baby while you knit.
Then you're not going to be knitting.
Somebody will be knitting.
I've actually, don't tell my husband.
What?
W Channel has Hallmark Christmas movies on already.
You've been watching?
Yeah, because it's just one after another, and it's so cozy and warm and happy, and the acting is brutal sometimes, but I don't know. I'm like, Halloween, see ya. Like, it was calling for snow a couple weeks ago, and I woke up and it was frosty, and I said, I can't tell if I'm upset or happy that it didn't snow, because I don't know. This year, like I said, I wish the summer went as fast as I could, and
well, it's not too far away because it's snow in the mountains and it's not going to go away now.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Christmas, because I can almost guarantee we will not be back before then. Never say never.
Never say never, but it won't be too busy.
I just wanted to show a couple things that I think are, if you are into the gift knitting, fantastic gift knits. And I've done, so of course, the Emma Cabled Ear Warmer by Vanessa Knits. I've talked about that already. Fantastic, super fast. You can get 2 or 3 done at a time. You've gifted this by me. It's a good gift.
Have some. Yeah, it's a good gift. Yeah. Especially when you're going outside, and for me, my ears get too much wind, and we have wind in our area. So just put those on.
With lots of hair, so we get hot.
Yeah.
So full on toque sometimes is not.
Well, for me, because I have so much hair in the shape of my head, my toque just goes. Mm-hmm. So this you can either put underneath your hair or over top of your hair.
Yeah, or pull your hood up or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's a great one. And then I've knit several of these, and this one is like stretched and worn out, but that's how I like it. Mm-hmm. This is On the Sea Train by Espastrico.
That's a nice one.
I'm going to tangent off onto that in a second. I've knit one for Matt. I've knit one for myself.
Melissa?
Yeah, Melissa. I've gifted a few. It's pretty fast. Depends on what yarn you use. This was Woolfolk Far, so it was a little bit on the pricier end for myself. Held double with mohair. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's, I love this
and
too.
And it fits you so well.
It's got a good slouch.
And it's stretchy still, even after you have it on.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about the Toque-tastrophe that... we went camping in my gray one, and I brought all the camping stuff back, and I put it in the washing machine.
Oh, yes.
It all smelled like smoke, and I should bring that out for the baby because it's like this big.
Nothing's going to get through that hat.
Very felted.
Felted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just a couple really quick gift knits if you are looking for something for someone. These are my go-to when someone says they want a toque. I think my nephew might get one soon.
Oh, yes.
Not that he's watching.
Nice.
So
no, that he's watching. He's probably not.
He watches his auntie and his grandma on YouTube.
Not likely.
Yeah, so this is just a couple quick gift knits that I really like to do. And of course, I talked about like the perfect fit newborn socks and stuff like that too. So,
So last year, before Christmas, I was watching
Barney and Carlos?
No, Fleece and Harmony.
Oh.
They're a woolen mill in Prince Edward Island, Canada, and they produce wool and dye wool. And they were having, I think they had guests by Zoom or whatever, and they were promoting a book of these two fellas, Christmas Balls to Knit. And they are just so cool, and I was learning how to knit Fair Isle. So I bought some of Fleece and Harmony yarn from Kim and Jen, and I started out in January. I'm going to knit 2 of these a month, 2 of these a month, and I'll have how many done by the end. Well, this is so far as what has happened.
So these are going to be ornaments, or are you going to make a garland?
No, they're going to be ornaments, but they actually look really nice like that. And they're not quite balls. I just stuff them.
To kind of
give them some space. So we have a bird. We have the heart. I really like the heart. I might embellish them a little bit with putting maybe for sure eyes on the elk or caribou. This is actually a skate.
And or an L for Linda.
It's a skate. Design. And this one, I know this one's really wonky. And this is the sheep
deft or massaged into shape.
Ram or I get my massage therapist in here to do that. So they all will have loops on the top, and I might just hang them like that. They look really nice
because they're quite large for a Christmas ball on a tree.
They are, but they would be nice as a garland too. Yeah. I guess.
Plus, I was thinking you could garland them. Well, I guess you don't have a mantle, but
no, and you really want to put them above the mantle. So Christmas Balls by Linda.
They look good in the arch between the living room and the dining room.
They would, yeah. So segue into Christmas. There you go.
Yeah.
Because Halloween's not even over yet, but it will be by the end of tomorrow.
Someone said to me, "What are you dressing up as for Halloween?" And I said, "Pregnant lady on the couch."
Pregnant lady on the couch.
We're not going anywhere. I don't have to work that day. I will probably have a few trick-or-treaters, which I have to get candy for. But
well, we're going to, have the children come
this
year. We didn't last year.
Neighborhood.
We didn't last year. We just put like tape up over the driveway and said sorry, which it was just fine for last year. And felt for the kids. Anyways, we're gonna.
It's supposed to be cold again.
Yeah, yeah. And then when our candies are gone, we'll just turn out the light and they'll know. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me.
Tea.
I have some tea.
I've been sipping on mine. I have to go use the washroom pretty soon. So that's kind of all we have to show for knitting today.
But we do want to tell you more about our dye garden. What do you call it? Project. Yes, thank you.
So you probably followed along for the most part with it. We've talked about it a couple times. We had a little vlog of weeding and planting, and then we just kind of stopped.
And we'll share some pictures here at the end, so you'll see exactly what we're talking about.
I can honestly say when we started this, we didn't know what I was going to be expecting. We didn't know
the enormity
of how much work it would be harvesting almost daily.
Harvesting every other day.
Every other day.
Well, first of all, I planted the seeds in the greenhouse and made sure they didn't die and transplanted them, etc., etc. And then we cleaned out Mioga's garden.
We had over 200 plants.
There was a lot of plants. And then we planted her garden.
Yeah.
That was
actually fun. Yeah. That was fun. I was pregnant there and not feeling great, but not feeling awful yet either.
And kind of in between.
Then I definitely
started feeling not so good.
I think and then walked in the door here.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
And then of course as the plants started getting bigger, we had to weed around them so that the weeds could the plants could grow bigger than the weeds, so it'll be all right. And then they started to flower, which we got really excited about. So we went out there and we harvested it. And it's like then that was 2 times as many the next time.
Goodness,
and then 2 times as much as that. Your watering system.
Yeah, our automatic sprinkler system, and we're on a well, and so we just let her rip, and we had a hot, dry summer. And so thank goodness for that, because I didn't have to go out there and water every day. There was a couple patches that we kind of had to tend to, but the thing with flowers is when you cut the flower, the bloom, it encourages the plant to grow more because it wants to seed and more and more and more. Yeah. Our Tango Cosmos were as tall as us.
Yes. And they just
like the stalk on those things. Caitlin would be proud. Caitlin French.
Hopefully, we'll have to let Caitlin know that this is here.
I have a photo that I can put in here kind of midsummer what the dye garden looked like for sure.
And I had to chuckle because first of all, we just got the scissors and we started cutting the stems and cutting the tops off.
Each one was cut.
What is going on? We can't do this. So after a while, it's just pick all the tops off.
You couldn't figure out why our fingers were orange.
Oh yeah, it's like Mom, I won't even say it. When many years ago, when people smoked a lot. Nicotine fingers, it was a thing. So I'm thinking, well, what was I doing that my hands are orange? Oh, picking flowers.
Yeah.
So we've got a whole bunch of dye stuff. And then after we pick them, of course, we have to dry them. So I have this sheet underneath the deck and all these flowers on there and shaking them up.
Piano, because this is generally the warmest room of the house because the sun comes in the front room. I had cookie trays. I had baskets. I had you name it, stuff was up there drying, and then I had to get to it before the cat was something to play with, right? And
yes.
So we'll share a photo of our dye stuff in all of the jars. Yes, we had to keep going to the thrift store and getting more jars.
And that translates to a lot of flowers. You'll see that all these dried flowers, it translates to think
about the flower, and then it dried, and now we have it's impressive.
And it is. It's impressive. And we are planning to have on offer dye stuff, which is the flowers, and seeds if you want to grow your own.
So we have to be careful because dye stuff, not a problem. I'm 100% sure that we can send that overseas and all over.
I'm not sure.
The flower itself?
Check.
Okay, we'll double check. But there are some regulations in terms of seeds where we can send them with like
There, because of cross contamination and different things
like
coming into
the
different
UK
countries, you have to be really careful and follow the regulations.
So if you're in Canada, 100% sure we can send it to you, and it will be fairly inexpensive shipping because it's light. We have to just kind of figure out
those details.
So stay tuned, because we will have another segment podcast on that completely.
And you'll see the yarn in this picture following that I'm going to be dyeing.
Yeah.
And just a little bit, we did indigo. I tried to do a couple of vats. I didn't have the right things going on, so they weren't successful. The lime was not the same kind of lime, and I wasn't able to put as much oxygen into the vat as I could have or should have, because I didn't have electricity to do that with. Anyways, that was a flop. But what I did find is doing a hand squish with salt and indigo, and I want to show you that.
And luckily, we just had such an abundance to work with that the flop didn't matter.
Okay, so this is a doily that was white.
I wish our colors were showing better.
I know. And it's a beautiful green. And this I actually mordanted ahead of time, which is a whole nother thing that you prepare your cloth to absorb the dye that you would put into it next. And this is also this is cotton. This is the one, the doily is cotton. And this is also, it's all wrinkled, is also a cotton scarf. And it's got these very interesting bits in it, really dark blue and some mostly green. But I have silk.
I'll have to show photos of these, because the colors are just not doing them justice. Like the color that you've gotten. Well, that's quite nice there.
This is of doing the squish and doing a little bit of a tie-dye on silk. So we'll have a few of these scarves on offer as well.
Did like little elastics to make that detail.
And there's one here that's got really lots more detail.
So you have some of these available to sell right now?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't have a cost on here as yet. So when we do our dye video, I will have that on there.
Yeah, and like I said, just reach out if you have any questions about it or are interested in it. We'll make sure we get back to you as soon as we can.
Oh, this one's lovely.
Yeah.
That's too.
It reminds me of like some Japanese indigo dye. Yeah.
And this is so nice and soft. This is all silk. Yeah, so very nice. And I haven't seen this yet. I did an indigo dye with some little onesie.
Oh, cute. Look at that. Is that one of the ones that you knot?
It's got elastic on the bottom, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. So we'll see. So I did that as well. So yeah, so I've been having fun, and I did that at the end of our the season. So I wish I would have started it sooner, but life happens, and it just took away too much time.
And we've frosted, so it's
and I couldn't wait for the frost to come this year because I was done.
Yeah.
So so watch for our podcast on natural dyeing and the things that will come.
Yeah. So a couple things we have coming down the line is dye stuff. So the dried flowers to take, we'll sell it to you. You'll have enough for a certain amount of yarn or silk or whatever you're doing. So that's coming down the line. We'll have possibly some dyed yarn, depending. I know you've.
I'm getting ready to
do a fiber festival in February. So that might not be a huge opportunity. But we'll let you know that we do have lots of seeds for Cosmos and Black Knight Scabiosa, which are my absolute favorite.
They're beautiful, beautiful. And even if you don't use them for dye, they're beautiful flowers.
Yeah.
And we'll share a picture here of that as well.
And then we've been touching base with Leanna, Lone Sequoia Ranch, and there's a possible collaboration with her and some of her waist knot wool, was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah. And we got to get to that too. Talk about that before
We're
she sells it all.
We're all kind of getting busy this fall with cleaning up and whatnot. So
I'm pretty well done all outside things.
Yeah, I think she's got lots of stuff with her animals and stuff too. So those things coming down the line. Again, like if you have any questions, pop us a note. Instagram's easy for that because it's just easy to go back and forth. That doesn't get missed in the comments. But yeah, those are just kind of some stuff that we've got coming down the line. Yeah. So yeah.
So we all wish you well. Hope you're enjoying your knitting projects and creating and making and enjoying them as much as we enjoy ours.
Yeah.
And go outside, get that fresh air.
So yeah, thanks again for tuning in. We love the comments. We love the feedback, the thumbs up, the subscribe, all of that.
Yeah.
Again, we'll be here when we're here. We can't promise weekly or monthly or anything like that, but we enjoy this tremendously. We enjoy our community, and we're so grateful for all of the relationships that we've made.
And thank you to all those other podcasters that share their life with us.
I wanted to say about Espastry Co. So they have new owners. So Stephanie and Natalie, similar, have purchased from Melissa and Lisa, and they just released their first podcast together. And Espastry Co. is one of my absolute favorite podcasts. It encouraged me to start my podcast, our podcast. And so I watched that, and I just wanted to say, got lots of time on my hands. And so if you are a podcaster, please drop a note below. I would love to check out your channel and just get some new content.
And Melissa and Lisa have moved on.
Yeah.
Yonder is a dye yarn company.
Yeah.
That I believe it's Melissa that is joined with a friend to carry on that.
So really
project.
Happy for
so
them.
Yes, good luck on that, girls. Yeah.
And you know what I just realized? What? You know what it's been? Let me just look at the actual date here.
When you started?
It's been 2 years.
2 years since you started?
It's been 2 years.
Oh, goodness.
It's been 2 years. I don't have a date in here, but it's been 2 years. We have a podiversary.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because it was October, and looking in the mirror or behind us, all the little pumpkins on the piano, I had cut them out and put them. And that was part of my intro.
What are those? They're not pumpkins. They're
lanterns.
The
lanterns.
The yellow, orange lanterns.
It's been 2 years.
2 years. Well, congratulations. I didn't join you till a little bit later.
No, I think you were here on the second or third podcast.
I don't know.
I want to say you were. I really do.
I was a guest then. Now I'm in here. A regular.
You came episode 3.
Okay.
Featuring Mama Linda, and she never left.
I had to kind of laugh at one of the comments. Someone was forgetting what My String of Pearls name podcast was, and they typed in Mama Purls, and it came up.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great. That's really neat. So I think we're just carrying on, and we're just mumbling about different things.
Yeah, it's okay. Thanks again. We will be back when we be back. We'll be back when we're back. Most likely with this bump on the outside.
Oh, I can't wait. And I don't know if you guys know how lovely a new baby smells. Oh, yeah. I can't share that with you, but I am so looking forward to that.
Like a scratch and sniff, right?
That would be lovely.
Yeah, it would. Okay, take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful Halloween.
Yes.
And maybe a wonderful Christmas. And
enjoy your life.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.